Have you ever gotten that jolt of excitement thinking, I'm going to build my own AI agent, only to get completely bogged down by all the hype and super abstract talk? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a clear, actual path from idea to your very first working agent.
This probably sounds super familiar, right? You see some incredible demo online, you get this huge rush of inspiration, and then you hit a total brick wall of complexity when you actually try to start. It's a really common frustration, and it's exactly what we're here to fix.
And that right there is the problem. The whole conversation around agents is stuck at this 30,000-foot view. We're always being told what agents can do, but nobody really shows you how to build one. Well, that's the gap we're going to fill right now.
So let's just forget the hype. Think of this as your roadmap. We're going to walk through a clear, step-by-step process that'll take you from a simple idea to a fully functioning agent you built yourself.
Okay, first things first. Every great project starts with a solid foundation. And before you even think about writing a single line of code, there are 3 really crucial decisions you've got to make. If you get these right, trust me, you're already halfway there.
The way to think about it is like this. Your agent needs a mission, a brain, and some hands. So what's its job going to be? What model is going to do the thinking? And what tools will it use to actually do stuff? Let's start with the mission.
Okay, listen up, because this might be the single most important tip in this entire explainer. Forget building some do-it-all super agent. Your first mission should be incredibly small and super specific. Why? Because a narrow scope makes designing, building, and, this is the big one, debugging about 1,000 times easier.
I mean, just look at these examples. Booking an appointment, monitoring a job board, summarizing your emails. They're all so tangible, right? You know immediately if the agent succeeded or if it failed. That is the perfect kind of scope for a first project.
Don't, and I mean seriously, do not try to reinvent the wheel here. The magic of modern agents comes from tapping into the incredible reasoning power of the LLMs that already exist. Your job isn't to be a model trainer, it's to be an orchestrator.
And you've got some amazing options. You can use powerful APIs like GPT or Claude for just ease of use. Or you could self-host open source models like LLaMA and Mistral if you want more control. The key thing, though, is to pick one that's really good at reasoning and generating structured output, like JSON. That is going to be the absolute core of your agent's decision-making.
Now this is the crucial step that turns a simple chatbot into a real agent. See, a chatbot can talk, but an agent can act. And it does this using what we call tools, which are basically a set of skills that let it mess with the outside world. You know, websites, APIs, your own files.
For instance, your agent could use a tool like Playwright to browse a website, or it could tap into the Gmail API to check your inbox, or even just read and write files on your computer. You should think of these tools as the agent's hands and eyes. They're what allow it to see and change things in the digital world.
All right, the foundation's set. Now let's get into the engine of this whole operation. This is the fundamental workflow, the core logic that powers every single AI agent out there. From the simplest little script to the most complex systems you can imagine. So how does it work? Well, everything kicks off with a single goal from you, the user. Something like, find me 3 junior software developer jobs in San Francisco. That goal gets packaged into a detailed prompt. Think of it like an instruction manual. And then it's sent over to the LLM. The model reads it and thinks, okay, to find those jobs, the very first thing I need to do is search a job website. So based on that little piece of reasoning, the model then selects the right tool from its toolkit, in this case, probably the web scraping tool, and it executes the action. It goes out and searches that job board. And this is the crucial feedback part of the loop. The result of that action, let's say it's a raw list of 20 job postings, that gets fed back to the model as brand new information. It's like the agent is reporting back to its brain saying, okay, here's what I found, now what?
Let's just pause here for a second, because this is the entire secret. This loop, think, act, observe, and then think again. It is the literal heartbeat of every single agent. It's just a constant cycle of reasoning and action. If you get this loop, you get how agents work. It's that simple.
Okay, so you've got the core loop running? Awesome. Now it's time to add a couple of finishing touches that are going to take your script from just a cool proof of concept to a tool that's actually useful. First up is memory. But let's keep it simple. Just start with short-term memory. That's basically just the last few things that were said in the conversation. Think of it like the agent's RAM. Only add long-term memory, like a database or even a simple file, when you absolutely need it to remember things after it's been shut down.
Now you have to get your agent out of the code editor and into the real world. Building a simple interface, and I mean even a basic command line tool or a Slack bot, is so critical. It forces you to interact with it like a real user would, and that's when you'll discover all the weird failure points and all the great opportunities for improvement.
And here's a little reality check. It's going to fail a lot. Building an agent isn't about getting it perfect the first time. It's about this relentless cycle of iteration. You run it, you watch it break, you patch the bug or you tweak the prompt, and then you run it again. That cycle is the work.
And finally, let's talk about the most important tool you have at your disposal, your mindset. Success in this space isn't really about mastering some complex new framework. It's about being aggressive with controlling your scope and just embracing the power of building one complete thing from end to end.
This is the big takeaway. The absolute fastest way to learn is to just build one small agent all the way through. Once you've done that, building your second, third, and fourth agents, it becomes 10 times easier because you've already been through the entire process from start to finish.
So the path forward is pretty clear. You are just one small, specific problem away from your very first working AI agent. You have the roadmap, the tools are all out there and accessible, so really the only question left is, what are you going to build?